105 provides that 1. A senator shall be responsible for the accuracy of any facts that the senator alleges to be true and may be required to substantiate any such facts instantly. And 2. If a senator has sufficient reason to convince the Speaker that the senator is unable to substantiate the allegations instantly, the Speaker shall require that such senator substantiates the allegations not later than the next sitting day, failure to which the senator shall be deemed to be disorderly within the meaning of Standing Order 121, disorderly conduct, unless the senator withdraws the allegations and gives a suitable apology if the Speaker so requires. Senator Karungo MP was not able to substantiate his statement as required pursuant to Standing Order 105.1 and subsequently requested the Speaker to provide the evidence at the next sitting day in accordance with Standing Order 105.2. Having acceded to the request, I directed that the Senator substantiates the allegations at the next sitting day. Honorable Senators, pursuant to Standing Order 105.2, I now invite Senator Karungo MP to forthwith substantiate the claim as raised in the point of order by Senator FORCED MP, failure to which the Senator shall be deemed to be disorderly within the meaning of Standing Order 121. In the absence of such substantiation, the Senator will be required to withdraw the statements and apologize to the Senate. Thank you. Senator Karungo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, after deliberations and understanding my role as a senator, that is oversight and representation, I understand that is what we call a fair comment, Mr. Speaker. And when I say that, I might have been, because I don't want to attract Senator Osotsi again to stand and maybe ask for more clarification. When I said, I'm a Kikuyu and I come from Mount Kenya, and sometimes when you talk about, when you're speaking English, you replace L's and R's. So I meant rooting, which means mandamano. Mr. Speaker, he comes, I meant he will come and do what he does best. I said rooting, which is taking the route, taking any route to demonstrate in the streets of our capital, Mr. Speaker. So maybe if I was misunderstood, and maybe I used an L, I meant rooting. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
But this statement, according to the answer, it's different because you have said either Right Honorable Raila Odinga joins the government and they continue looting. Joins the government, I don't know whether you mean the government and Raila have been looting on Mandamano. I'm not sure whether that is that, but I will ask Senator Osotsi.
Senator Osotsi, maybe I just want you to understand, even when ODM is in broad-based government, they will continue making noise. You see them. We have given them chairmanship, and they're still making noise against the government. So what I'm trying to say, even if you do whatever you want to do, Mr. Speaker, they will continue demonstrating.
Time to substantiate and then...
So I meant just that, Mr. Speaker. Even if they're in government, and I'm supporting that because if you listen to Senator Sifuna today, even you listen to him yesterday, he looks uncompromisable, Mr. Speaker. Even if he is promised his people will be given chairman. Look at Senator Eddie. Senator Eddie is going to be given chairman. He's the vice chairman. And he's still asking questions to this government.
Senator Karungo, you have not substantiated your claim, unfortunately.
Mr. Speaker, I say he will join the government.
I'm not convinced as the chair that you have done that.
Yeah.
Yes, Senator Sifuna.
Honorable Speaker, when somebody is called to substantiate,
Then a senator, not somebody.
yes, when a senator is called to substantiate, they must provide something to back their claims. You cannot take us down a rabbit hole trying us to teach us English and literature. And Honorable Speaker, even me, who's not a Njuricheke elder like yourself, Honorable Speaker, can tell when somebody is being clever. You are a person who has the capacity to tell when a senator is being clever. Honorable Speaker, I want you to rule the senator for Kiambu out of order. And in fact, he's added insult to injury by the claims that he has made here, casting aspersions against members of my party, ODM, which is not something we will allow, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Sifuna.
We will not allow it. So, Honorable Speaker, please, if he has been unable to substantiate, let the law take its course. I know the senator for Kiambu has been very busy out there in fact, we are wasting his time with him sitting here. I'm sure there is a rally somewhere in Lari, and I know how to use L and R. A rally in Lari is waiting for the senator for Kiambu. Release him to go.
So, Senator Karungo, you know, like your substantiation is very different with what I was pushing with Senator Mtata, because yours cannot be found anywhere in a newspaper or in a book that I'm going to refer. So instead of opening so many fronts here, then why don't you just, if you are misunderstood, you just apologize, then we move on. And we withdraw from the answer, because I think that's gentleman enough.
Actually, Mr. Speaker, that's what I did. I just tried to say that I was misunderstood. I used an L instead of an R. And since they did not get it, Mr. Speaker, and I want to continue being friends with Senator Sifuna because I like what he's doing nowadays, I withdraw and apologize, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Let's now go back to statements. Where were we this side? Who was the last to give comments? Okay. Now let's go to Senator Joe Newton.
No, I am not going to finish. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to comment on the statement by Senator Hamida on the mental health of medical interns, Mr. Speaker. And this is a matter that concerns all of us, Mr. Speaker, because what is happening is that, and we have seen it during the many industrial actions taken by the medics, where we have been able to establish, Mr. Speaker, that most of these medical interns are given long hours to serve, even as their seniors, the doctors, sometimes do 1 or 2 hours, and then of course, go to their private practice, Mr. Speaker. And this is something that could be leading to a lot of mental pressure and stress, leading even sometimes, Mr. Speaker, to suicide cases. Mr. Speaker, I think once the Committee on Health then undertakes the job that it is going to do while looking at this particular matter, Mr. Speaker, I think even the remuneration of these medical interns should be looked into. The hours that they put in, Mr. Speaker, and the committee then should be able to give recommendations as requested by Senator Hamida, because, Mr. Speaker, it takes 7 years. I think 6 years to train a medical doctor at the university, Mr. Speaker, while the other degree courses take 4 years. Mr. Speaker, these are people who put in a lot of time, academic time. They are people that the government and the various hospitals need to recognize by paying well, Mr. Speaker. These are a group of people, again, those that are admitted to take medicine are the top cream in every academic year, Mr. Speaker. And these are not people then that we should pay peanuts and give them long hours of service. Mr. Speaker, this is a matter that this House should take very seriously because, again, these are the people that we entrust our health to. If they are going to offer their services to us, because, of course, anybody can get ill, Mr. Speaker, if they will offer their services to us while under stress, while not comfortable with where they live, what they eat, and the kind of lifestyle that they lead, Mr. Speaker, then everybody, every Kenyan that is seeking medical services from these interns, who basically are the ones that you're going to find in every hospital any hour, will also be at risk, Mr. Speaker. And so when we speak for these medical interns, Mr. Speaker, we are speaking also for our interests, ourselves, our families, and indeed every other Kenyan, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, while at it, we may want the health committee, the Senate Committee on Health, Mr. Speaker, we're looking at this matter to also look at the training of these particular, of medical students, Mr. Speaker, because everyone knows that previously we had, or universities across the country used to admit a very small number of medical interns, or of medical students, Mr. Speaker, which has changed over time. So probably the committee should also concern itself with the fact, wanting to see what universities are doing with the increased numbers of students that are taking medical courses, Mr. Speaker. And so it is something that the Committee on Health should look into broadly and, Mr. Speaker, give a very comprehensive statement on this. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I want to give maybe one more Senate this end and one this other side. There are requests by some colleagues here that they have flight at 5:30 to Marindi and Mombasa. So I want us to manage time. Just a few minutes, 2 minutes, Senator Olekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to make some comments on two statements. One,